Today we'll be learning how to put together a single transducer Aline. The basic components you'll need are a bag of heparin, pressure bag, transducer clip, a single transducer, 60cc syringe, and a blue cap. So you'll go to your pharmacy or an Omnicell if it's during off-peak hours, and you'll get a bag of 500 mLs of 1:1 heparin. You'll check your you'll check your expiration date. It comes with 3 labels that we'll use later. This heparin does come in a UV block protection bag because once it's exposed to light, the life of it decreases quickly. So the first thing we'll do after you get your heparin is you'll get your clip and your transducer. And there's a few components we have to put together first. So there's stickers on the inside of this transducer clip. The only ones we have to worry about for this one are the arterial lines. When you're putting together your transducer to the clip, there's 2 places that you're going to attach these into the clip. The first one will be the first cord where the arterial line actually attaches to the arterial cable that attaches to the anesthesia cart from machine. And this just slides down and clicks into place. We'll have to take some of these paper wrappers off. The second part that attaches into this clip is the syringe, and the syringe should be pointing in a downward fashion. And that one slides down into this clip and snaps. So now, before we get started with the priming, we have to make sure that all attachments are tightened. Now the manifold clip and transducer are ready to be primed. So you'll take your spike and your heparin bag, and we'll be spiking part where the blue cap is. So the first thing we need to do is burp the bag. And to burp the bag, you just take your spike, you center it right down the center. Make sure you don't catch any of the sides. Give it a little pop, pull it out, and make sure the air comes out of the bag until you see it. And then reinsert the spike all the way in. Now when your spike is inserted, you can put it into your pressure bag. We'll drop the pressure bag in, and there's a blue clip on the inside of this bag, and we'll find the hole inside the top of the heparin bag and hook it on like that. Now you want your bag not to be too high up or too far out when you start to pressurize it. You want to try to center it as best as you can. And once you have it centered, you want to make sure your lines are straight and that your pressure gauge is up and not kinked. If it's kinked, it will not pressurize. So then you make sure that your stopcock is on the lock, the releasing valve, and you can start pressurizing. My thing was kinked, so I couldn't do it. As you're pressurizing your bag, you're going to watch this tip here, and it'll go from white to green to red, and there's units of pressure on there. You want to bring it right to where you see the red. And then this is where we want to start when we start priming. So now we're going to squeeze these two little phalanges together, and this white stopcock needs to be turned up. This is the exit point. This red cap has a hole in it, so we're going to depressurize and prime through this hole first. Okay, we're going to continue to pressurize. I'm going to grab my syringe and attach it, and as we prime, we're going to fill up this syringe with heparin. You might need to help the syringe at the very beginning, give it a little pop, and you just continue to squeeze the two phalanges together until you fill it up. As you're filling up your syringe, you want to check for bubbles, give them flicks. So when you have between 50 and 60 mLs of heparin saline in your syringe, you remove the syringe and replace the red cap. And then you're going to want to take your blue cap and put it on your syringe. Followed by a heparin label that's dated and timed. When you place your heparin syringe on your saline, or your heparin syringe, you need to make sure that the sticker is facing down and not the opposite way, because when we go to actually put this medication into the cup, we don't want it to flip down and contaminate any of our setup. So the label goes this way, like that. Put made. Today is the 25th of January, and it is about 6:37. And initial. So that's your heparin saline syringe that we'll use later. Now we're going to continue priming the transducer. So if we started from the bag, we primed up to this point. Now we need to go toward the syringe. So now we're going to take the stopcock, turn it off toward this exit. I'm going to flip this upside down. Now we want our flow to go here. So this stopcock needs to turn to block off the most distal portion of this. So now I'm going to go back over to these two little phalanges, and I'm going to pinch this, and I'm going to pull on my syringe a little bit, and we're going to get some flow into the syringe. Now it's important to get all the bubbles out of this. Sometimes I use a scissor or a pen to try to get some of those smaller bubbles out. And once it looks good, you're going to turn this stopcock back toward the beginning, and we're going to prime the rest of this. one full syringe. And then we're going to do that step a second time. We're going to turn it off toward the distal end. We're going to pinch again, fill the syringe up. Check for more bubbles. And we're going to turn it back off toward the bag. And once we're happy with the priming of the syringe, we'll leave about 1 to 2 mLs of the heparin saline inside the syringe. Now we're going to turn off the syringe completely and flush the entire line. Garbage. Okay. So the 2 stopcocks, one turned off at the red exit site. The other one's turned off at the syringe. So the priming will go directly from the pressure bag all the way to the end of the transducer. And remember to check for bubbles all the way. A lot of bubbles like to hide in this spot right here, so I want to check that a couple times. All right, and that is your basic setup of a single transducer for Alines.